If you could resurrect any horror movie franchise that's been dormant for years, which one would you bring back and why? I want to see When a Stranger Calls, but with a modern twist. Let the house be in the middle of nowhere, and the family has indoor security cameras that the killer hacks. And that's how they toy with the babysitter. The killer also strategically puts a military-grade signal jammer over the house and somehow reroutes the emergency calls made from the babysitter's cell phone. They take out the internet, and the house doesn't have a landline. I want them to build the feeling of dread, and that it could happen to anyone like the old one did. It wouldn't be a franchise, but I'd go with Trick or Treat, Halloween-themed horror anthology each year. Release mid-October. That would be glorious. The 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and The Lost Boys, which is a franchise. But not many know of the other films following each of the vampires from the film and starting with story of David or Marco. Also, Gremlins, each one released around Christmas. The movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a personal favorite of mine due to its unique and entertaining plot. While the storyline may appear straightforward, I find its simplicity refreshing compared to many contemporary movies that tend to overextend their narratives. I hope that if a sequel is ever produced, it will maintain the charm and effectiveness of the original. Unpopular answer here, but so few horror franchises get better as they continue on. Horror, but in general getting resurrected and dished out as increasingly cheesy and comical sequels while the main characters lose their edge just kind of kills the idea. And I don't want to see it. While the new Hellraiser was pretty good, it wasn't Doug Bradley, and he is Pinhead, and I want more of that. I wouldn't mind seeing what they could do with The Thing or The Exorcist or maybe Day of the Triffids. They are all classic horror that were great stories that would translate really well to today. I would like to see more fresh things coming out rather than continuations. That said, if I had to pick one Nightmare on Elm Street, I honestly didn't mind the 2010 version, and I feel the franchise is such that it could do basically anything and be true enough to the source material. Immediately Final Destination. Nothing has come close to anxiety-inducing as this franchise has. Other scary movies made you scared of a dark hall. Final Destination would make you scared of the hall itself. Basket Case. Why? Because it has a fun, creepy premise with the reboot potential to be awesome. A reboot of a bad movie has the potential to be good. A reboot of a good movie is almost always bad. Silent Hill, perhaps. I mean, it is based on a game, and had some continuations. But look, it could use a rerun with some new plot lines happening in the background. Phantasm ... positively insanely scary. And the only problem would be finding a replacement for Angus Scrim, who surely has shuffled off this mortal coil. I've honestly wanted to see a modern remake of The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. It's in the public domain too. Heck, even get Timmy Burton on it. Why not? I'd love to see them bring back The Wishmaster. Not as a reboot, but as a fourth movie with the original actor. He was so fucking awesome in that part. I'd bring back Hellraiser, because its unique blend of horror and dark fantasy has a timeless appeal that could still captivate audiences today. I don't know about Resurrect, but I would love to see more clown horror movies with just killer clowns. No supernatural stuff or anything like it. Considering The Thing and Predator sequels, no, I don't want them to effing touch any of them. Let them make a Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Child's Play, because Chucky is an unforgettable horror icon and his twisted antics would still send shivers down spines today. Wreck, but just the first one. Really good found footage zombie movie that left me on edge. Shame the sequels are garbage. None of them, between the wokest and artistic license, leave my favorite horror classics the fuck alone. None of them. I'm sick of reboots and remakes and shite reimaginings. Make a new goddamn movie for once. Ginger Snaps. Keep Ginger being in Brigitte's head from the second one, and just make it a direct sequel. Tales from the Crypt. But make it more like the 70s than 90s though. I do love some Crypt Keeper. Friday the 13th. The 2009 reboot was an absolute failure because it was too far from the roots. Sleepaway Camp, given how the original ends, it would definitely generate some YouTube views. We already have too many reboots, sequels, spin-offs and adaptations as it is. It's not a series, but the Mothman Prophecy was fucked and a second one would be as well. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Maybe a different origin and make Freddy actually scary. Jeepers Creepers with a decent budget. Not the low-grade crap they've been making. Children of the Corn was a really interesting idea that wasn't done quite right. Friday the 13th. Just so that there could at least be 13 movies for the series. The ... Blob. That movie terrified me as a kid. Would love a solid remake. The Ring viral video. How would Samara keep up with all the killing? Cube. I absolutely loved the premise and the sci-fi elements in it. Nightmare on Elm Street. But this time, spread through means. Reanimator, the 2 sequels did not do the original justice. Final Destination franchise. Such an interesting concept.